Right now, somewhere behind your eyes, there is a gap. It covers the first 3 years of your life, and you will never get them back. You learned to walk in that gap. You learned your own name, your mother's face, an entire language, and you remember almost none of it. The strangest part is that you were wide awake and paying attention the whole time. This blank stretch is so universal that it has a name. In 1899, Sigmund Freud called it infantile amnesia. He assumed your mind was hiding those years on purpose, burying them like something shameful. For decades, that unsettling explanation was the best one anyone had. But Freud was wrong about almost everything here. Your baby memories were not repressed. Something far stranger happened to them. Let's start with the version of events you'd probably guess. You would expect that babies simply can't form memories yet, that the lights are on but nothing is recording. It turns out that's completely false. Patricia Bauer at Emory University spent years testing exactly this idea. She showed toddlers how to build little toys in a specific order, then waited. Months later, those same children could still repeat the sequence perfectly. A 2-year-old absolutely forms memories, they just don't keep them. For a long time, though, this was hard to prove in the youngest babies. You can't ask a 1-year-old what they remember. Then Nick Turk Brown's lab at Yale did something nobody had managed before. They slid awake infants into a brain scanner and showed them images. Watching the live scans, they saw the baby hippocampus light up as it encoded what it saw. The recording light, it turns out, was on the entire time. So the memories aren't failing to record. They're being captured in full and then quietly destroyed. Which raises a far more disturbing question. What exactly is doing the destroying? There's another clue hiding in how the boundary behaves. Carol Peterson at Memorial University in Newfoundland interviewed children about their earliest memories. Then she came back and interviewed them again, years later. The odd thing was that their first memories kept sliding later in time. An event a child recalled at age 6 had often vanished by age 10. The wall of forgetting wasn't fixed. It was actively creeping forward, swallowing memories that used to be there. Something inside the developing brain was erasing as it built. For years, what that something was made no sense at all. Then, in 2014, a lab in Toronto found the culprit. Paul Franklin and Sheena Jocelyn were studying the hippocampus, the brain's memory filing system. In a baby brain, that region is doing something an adult brain barely bothers with. It is growing new neurons at a furious, relentless pace. This process is called neurogenesis, and it concentrates in a structure called the dentate gyrus. New brain cells sound like an unambiguously good thing. More cells, more memory, surely. But Franklin's team noticed the opposite. The faster new neurons grew, the faster old memories disappeared. Here is the mechanism, as best we understand it. Imagine your memories wired into a circuit board, each one a specific path between points. Now imagine fresh wires forcing their way into that board, rerouting the connections. The old paths get scrambled. The memory is still technically there, but the route leading to it has been paved over. To prove the link, the researchers did something almost mischievous. They took adult mice, who normally hold on to memories for a long time. Then they force those adult brains to grow new neurons the way a baby's does. The adult mice promptly started forgetting, just like infants. They had given fully grown mice a case of baby amnesia on demand. Catherine Akers published the results in the journal Science that same year. So here is the quiet absurdity of being human. Your earliest years are erased by your brain growing too fast. The very growth that assembles you is what wipes the opening footage. But neurogenesis is only one half of the story, because there is a second reason those years stay permanently out of reach. You simply didn't have the words yet. Gabrielle Simcock and Harlene Hain ran a wonderfully clever experiment in 2002. They built a magical machine that appeared to shrink toy objects placed inside it. Toddlers were delighted by it and clearly remembered it. But here is the twist the researchers uncovered. Years later, the children could only describe the event using the words they had known at the time it happened. Whatever new vocabulary they'd gained since couldn't unlock the old memory. The memory was frozen in the language available at the moment it formed. And a 1-year-old has almost no language at all, so the experience gets saved in a format your older self can no longer open. It's like finding a file written by software that no longer exists on any machine. There's a third piece, and it's about who was doing the remembering in the first place. A baby has no real sense of self yet. There is no narrator inside quietly saying, "This is happening to me." Elaine Reese and Robin Fevish study how that inner narrator actually gets built. It turns out, oddly enough, that your parents build it for you. When a parent says, "Remember when we went to the beach and you found that little crab," they are teaching you the very shape of a memory. They're showing you how to fold a loose moment into a story you can own. Children whose parents talk in this rich, elaborate way develop earlier and fuller first memories. Your autobiography, it seems, was quietly co-written by the people around you. This fingerprint even shows up across entire cultures. Chi Wang at Cornell compared the earliest memories of adults from different backgrounds. Western adults raised on me-centered stories tend to report earlier first memories. Adults from cultures that emphasize the group over the individual tend to remember slightly later. The boundary of your memory shifts depending on the kinds of stories you were raised inside. There's a deeper distinction underneath all of this worth pausing on. You never actually lost everything from those years. You kept how to walk, how to grasp a spoon, the bones of your first language. Those skills live in a different, older memory system that infants build just fine. Nora Newcomb at Temple University has spent her career mapping this split. What fails early is episodic memory, the kind that records specific events as scenes. The machinery for re-experiencing a moment is the part that comes online late. So you keep the abilities and lose the autobiography. You kept the language and lost the day you learned your first word. Which brings us to a question the researchers themselves keep circling. Why would evolution build a brain that deletes its own beginning? Forgetting feels like a flaw, but this kind is far too reliable to be an accident. One idea is that those first years are pure construction work. The infant brain is busy laying down the rules of the world, how faces work, how language bends, how gravity behaves. Holding on to every specific scene might just clutter a system trying to extract the general pattern. In that view, forgetting the examples is the price of keeping the lesson. The explosive neurogenesis that wipes your memories is the same growth wiring up everything you'll use for life. The blank spot isn't damage. It may be the receipt for becoming a person at all. Now we reach the strangest turn in the entire story. For a century, nearly everyone assumed those early memories were simply destroyed. Gone, overwritten, deleted beyond any hope of recovery. Recent research suggests that assumption may be flat wrong. Christina Alberini at New York University worked with infant rats. Her team found that the earliest memories weren't actually erased. They were hidden, dormant, sitting in storage and waiting. With the right trigger, the rats could suddenly access memories they had appeared to lose entirely. The file wasn't deleted after all. The brain had simply lost the password to it. Other labs pushed even further, using pulses of light to switch specific memory cells back on. In mice, they reactivated infant memories the animal could no longer reach on its own. The memory lit right back up, intact, long after it should have been gone for good. This quietly flips the whole century-old story. Infantile amnesia may not be a failure of storage at all. It may simply be a failure of retrieval. The first years of your life might still be sitting in there, fully recorded. Every face you studied, every room you crawled across, every early fear and comfort. Not erased, just filed somewhere your adult mind no longer has a map to. So when you try to remember being a baby and find only fog, that fog is misleading you. You are not staring into an empty room. You are standing outside a locked one with no idea where the key went. Freud thought you were hiding those years from yourself out of shame. The truth is gentler and somehow far stranger than that. The person who actually lived those years simply didn't yet have the tools to write them down, and the brain that grew next, busy assembling the rest of you, paved right over the path leading back. Which leaves one quiet question worth sitting with for a while. If those years are still in there, unreachable but real, then who exactly were you before you can remember being anyone at all?